What's good, people? Welcome to Fresh Tech TV, and today we're going to be comparing the iPhone 10 to the Pixel 2 XL. Now, this is actually going to be a collaboration with my guy Michael Tobin over at Initial Focus. He's currently using the iPhone 10 as his daily driver. I bounce back and forth between the two phones, so we decided to go ahead and give you guys the pros and cons of both and put them head to head and talk about why the Pixel 2 XL is better than the iPhone 10 and also why the iPhone 10 may be better than the Pixel 2 XL. Also, I will be on the side of the Pixel 2 XL telling you guys why this phone is so much better than the iPhone 10. Being that these are two of the most popular phones to choose from nowadays, let's go ahead and put them head to head. For starters, the camera on this phone is way better. Way better. If you guys watched my review, like I said, this camera is butter. This is way better than any other camera phone on the market. Bar none, the high dynamic range always being on, HDR+. When it comes to taking pictures for any events or special occasions, the Pixel 2 XL is always in my pocket and I'm ready to go. Especially when it comes to portrait mode, separating the background from the foreground without blowing out the edges, perfectly blending everything, it's just seamless once again, butter.
Alright, so you made some good points there. And while I will definitely give you the selfie portrait mode and maybe the portrait mode in general, even on the rear facing camera, is better on the Google Pixel 2 XL because those pictures fire. I really hate myself for saying that in the video. Android phones still have a lot of very just digital feeling processing. Of course, the iPhone is a digital camera as well, but where a lot of these cameras in these phones differ is the image processing. So let's say you want to do something outside the effects of the built-in camera app. Good luck no matter what Android phone you have, even the Google Pixel. For example, Snapchat. If you're an avid Snapchat user, you know that the Android Snapchat is garbage because it doesn't actually utilize the full image sensor at all. It just uses a screenshot basically. Well, on iPhone, the photography apps have full access to all of the sensor, all of the amazing glass that is included in each iPhone camera. So while the stock apps, you'll get some fantastic images and video out of the Pixel 2 XL, I still think the usability of the iPhone's camera is definitely more utilized on iOS, ending with a lot better images overall.
Another reason why the Pixel 2 XL is better than the iPhone 10 is the operating system. The fact that you can tweak your user interface to your liking. I use Nova Launcher personally, and I have a very minimal setup. I changed my icon packs, I changed my widgets, and I got it just the way I like it.
Next up for me is the form factor. Now yes, technically there are other iPhones bigger and smaller than the iPhone 10, but if we're looking at flagship, whatever the latest and greatest of each is, you have the Google Pixel 2 XL and then the Google Pixel 2. What's unfortunate is if you really like that smaller form factor to fit into one hand, or if you just have small hands in general, you have to get the Pixel 2, but then you're missing out on a handful of features, the bigger screen for one of them in the Pixel 2 XL. With the iPhone 10, you get the best of both worlds. It fits in one hand beautifully. This is the form factor that I've been dreaming of, while not cutting back on anything, including battery life, the dual camera setup, and everything that a flagship phone has to offer.
I think everyone's in agreement, both iOS users and Android users, that Siri is just trash and Google Assistant dominates. Google Assistant is better than Alexa, it's better than Siri. Google Assistant is at the top of the totem pole when it comes to voice assistants. 9 times out of 10, when I ask Siri for something, it gives me a web page or tells me to look at my iPhone. Whereas with Google Assistant, it actually gives me an audible response that's usable. Hey Siri, how much does the Panasonic GH5 weigh?
Let me check that. My web search turns something up for how much does the Panasonic GH5 weigh. Have a look.
Okay, Google. How much does the Panasonic GH5 weigh?
On the website cameradecision.com, they say, Panasonic GH5 weighs 725 grams and has external dimensions of 139 by 98 by 87 millimeters.
Thanks.
Number 3 on my list is the Face ID. Now, I've bashed Face ID in the past because I didn't know how it was going to work out, and I had a foot and mouth when I actually got my hands on the phone. I think Face ID is a fantastic and pretty much the best way to unlock a device. It's insanely fast and insanely secure, and it's been very quickly adopted by third-party apps, from banks to password saving apps to just about all social media or any sort of login. And I'm not even mad anymore in the fact that there's no fingerprint sensor on the front, back, bottom, wherever.
Yet another reason why the Pixel 2 XL is better than the iPhone 10 is that Google actually listens to their consumer, and they're a bit more progressive when it comes to developing software for their phones. When the Pixel 2 first came out, everyone was mad about the display and the fact that the colors seemed very muted. Within a month's time, Google responded with a software update with saturated mode, allowing you to boost the color and contrast of your screen. Also, another testament to that progression is the fact that Siri's been around for a long time. Google Assistant's pretty new to the market and has dominated everything in terms of voice assistance. Even more proof is the camera. The fact that they were able to master the portrait mode with just one lens.
Next up on my list is the speed of the OS and the apps. Now, this one is probably the closest in my head that I have a hard time with, because yes, the Google Pixel is insanely fast, and when you're using something like Fresh's with Nova Launcher, you have a very clean UI and system, but this is where the fragmentation of Android still exists. Depending on the type of experience you want, whether that's a more minimalist or an all-out crazy utility setup, your experience is going to vastly differ for how you use and set up the phone. So while the usability of the OS may be about the same, or one may be slightly faster than the other on the iPhone or the Google Pixel, I gotta give the guaranteed knowing that the user interface and all of the third-party apps are going to work insanely well.
And my last reason as to why Google and the Pixel 2 and Android as a whole is better than Apple and the iPhone 10 is the recent acquisition of HTC. Now that Google actually owns their own manufacturing, they can perfectly melt and marriage hardware and software and truly compete with Apple and ultimately dominate.
Number 5 on the list is the screen. Now, on paper, the Google Pixel has a pretty beefy screen. I mean, Quad HD, OLED, these are all amazing things to hear, but the fact of the matter is they had a huge problem with being blue, taking a cheap shot. I know a lot of reviews said this wasn't super annoying or anything, but to me this would bug the hell out of me. But I'm obsessed with colors, and yes, they are starting to fix that. And I don't know exactly how it works if you buy any new phone now, or if you get it from the carrier store. Is it guaranteed to be one of the new ones, or I don't know, all that news. So they are trying to fix it, which is good. But the fact of the matter is that the iPhone 10 has a fantastic screen, and fantastic colors. It's OLED. Yes, it's still that 1080 2K point, but that's fine by me for the screen size. I'd much rather get this extra battery life that comes with a slightly lower resolution screen. So yeah.
Hopefully we gave good arguments on both sides. Shout out to Michael once again for collaborating on this video. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. Everyone watching on my channel, be sure to go ahead and check out Michael's channel. I'll link it down in the description and also throw it on the screen somewhere. He makes great high quality tech content that I'm sure you'll enjoy. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. And until next time, stay fresh. Peace.